Hello, my little goblins. We're here with another deck profile. This time we're doing Dragon Link, but not any Dragon Link. We're doing Grass is Greener Dragon Link. Not any Grass is Greener. We're doing Grass is Greener Buster Blader Dragon Link. Say that 10 times fast. Well, so let's look at the deck real quick. We have 3 Buster Whelp of Destructions because this searches out our Prologue, because Prologue is the card we need to actually summon everything. But not necessarily. Actually, let's talk about this real quick. The reason why I actually think this deck could do pretty well, theoretically, is because you have Grass is Greener. So you play Grass is Greener, you can actually discard the Buster Blader card to the graveyard, or the Trap card and the Buster Blader to the graveyard. And if you don't get this Trap card to the graveyard, or you just get one of these, you can actually go into Protector Whelp and send the other, right? And this deck, since we are good at going into level 8 synchros, we can actually just naturally go into Buster Dragon ourselves. So that leads us with the Buster Dragon. We could do the whole Buster combo doing that way. And the deck also has the added bonus of having Boral and Dragon, which is a very powerful card. And if your deck doesn't have an out to it, you're probably going to lose. Let's be honest. So, yeah, I mean, the deck's riddled with hand traps, too, which should help us in a lot of these matches, because a lot of hand traps. But honestly, we have to play a lot of hand traps because we're playing a 60-card deck. So, it is what it is. We do have some bricks in the deck. Obviously, drawing Frame Driver is semi-brick. Drawing the Buster Blader is our semi-bricks. Because remember, you can always discard these cards to Dragon Ravine. Opening this card is also a brick. So the deck definitely has some bricks. Obviously, Grass is Greener is kind of what makes this deck go burr, if you want to make a meme out of it. But it kind of makes the whole deck active. But yeah, I mean, the deck in theory sounds pretty good. And honestly, it looks, and I tested out in solo mode a few times, it's pretty consistent on doing what it needs to do. But let's just get to the games and we can see how that's going to work in actual high-rated gameplay. Hello, we're here with game number 1, and our hand's pretty ass. And it's getting worse. So our opponent's going to be playing Dimension Shifter. So I include this game because if we didn't play into this, we just lose the game instantly. But I thought this was actually kind of funny. So we go into Buster Dragon, right? So, if you guys don't know, Buster Dragon shuts down Floowandereeze. And we know our opponent's playing Floowandereeze because Floowandereeze is really the only card right now playing this card. But, so the reason why this card shuts them down is because if Floowandereeze plays, let's say, their field spell and they banish Eaglin or something, and they summon, or they banish Rabina, summon Eaglin, right? Rabina doesn't actually come to their hand, because the Eaglin is now a dragon. So that was the whole theory and why I just did this and said YOLO. Because my hand was ass. You can see my hand right now. It's fucking garbage. Our opponent gets Pot of Duality. Which honestly made me laugh because I was like, he had the out, which was the Infinite Imperm. But he gets Rabina and then summons Floowandereeze. And then he plays this. Right? This is what's hilarious. So, he plays he gets an Eaglin with this, right? He has Rabina. So, technically, he can combo off fully because he has Rabina, right? But he gets Barrier Statue because he thought he was going to get the effect off of this. So, he gets Barrier Statue, summons the Barrier Statue, ends his turn, comes back to your boy. I summoned Fairy Tale Snow. And he just concedes because the game is over. It's going to take him it's actually, honestly, if he played it out, he had a good chance of still winning, to be real. Because honestly, my hand was fucking ass. I had to find a way to really to discard this Buster Blader. But other than that, my hand was kind of ass too. But man, you got to pay attention sometimes to some of the card interactions. You know what I mean? If you could shut down flow, that's good enough for me. All right, guys, we're here for game number 2, and yeah, we're starting off with the Grass is Greener. Never mind. Our opponent's going to play Ash Blossom, but never mind. I have Called by the Grave. It's pretty cool, right? It's not cool. They backseat us. So now we have to pick in our mind. We have to be like, okay, what are we going to do? Our opponent backseat us. We have this trap, though. This trap tells me it's curious and curiouser. And we have Buster Blade. We have a Buster Blade in the graveyard, and we have dragons in the graveyard, so we're actually Gucci. He plays, so this is something, you have to learn with this trap. If your opponent has automatic effects like the Live Twin, right? It doesn't actually, so, you'll see. The Buster Blader card doesn't actually negate your opponent's cards. They just, they prevent from the activated effect from happening. So if the activated effect's already happening, then it doesn't really actually do anything. That's all I'm saying. This should still, if my opponent has nothing to answer this, it should still shut him out. Never mind. Actually, our opponent had the out like they always do. This is like, I want to point this out. This is the beginning of the end of this entire video. This video is gonna derail into me just getting so unlucky every single game. You're gonna actually start laughing. So Gardevoir, he had the out, obviously. He just did that. Otherwise, his whole deck was shut out. So I summoned Fairy Tail Snow. 50-50 chance on what I hit. Hopefully, he has no answer. Like, if I'm gonna hit this pink one here. And I have to hope he does. Never mind, he has the out for that. But he actually doesn't have the pink card left in his deck. Doesn't have it left in his deck. Maybe he shouldn't have grabbed it like a greedy little goblin, thinking I couldn't shut him out. But my goodness, dude, my opponents, it's crazy, dude. It's fucking wild. Hello, everybody. We're here for game number 3, and our hand is looking okay, actually. It's looking pretty decent. Activate Chaos Space. Get the Cloud Serpent. Striker Dragon. Honestly, things are going pretty good here. Then we go into Romulus. This is very common, this combo we're doing. Most likely going to be discarding this Buster Blader, because honestly, nothing else in our hand to really discard. And we haven't used our normal summon yet, which is good. Ravine is going to send that. Apsarouter is going to grab the level 1, because the level 1 is going to be able to use the Apsarouter to actually pick it up. So, we don't want to special summon Synchron, because this card has a normal summon effect. So, we don't want to waste that. So we're going to go into... This is kind of how you do the Borderland Dragon play. Boom. Here it is. And here we are. So we're going into Borderland Savage Dragon. Pretty good. Chaos Space is going to hopefully get us something that's not ass. And no promises. And then we actually go into Buster Dragon, which is actually, is this even a good card for us to get? It's not the worst. We end up, so the reason why I actually did this instead of, I could have went into Chaos Ruler. So the reason I did this instead of Chaos Ruler is because this does have an effect. But more importantly, sometimes when you play a card that makes everything dragons, if they're playing like an archetype that needs like Cyberse or something like that, it really fucks them over. Like, they won't be able to make a lot of plays if they need to use a Cyberse monster. And, alright, so I'm going to talk about misplay here. When he activates this Ice Barrier effect, I 100% need to use Borderload Savage's effect. Because then he gets Gamer Seal, and Gamer Seal could be devastating. But, he Gamer Seals the wrong target, in my personal opinion. You always want to go Borderland Dragon. This card, he does not have anything to deal with it. Unless this card... So it's pretty much he could have had this entire game instantly right here. If he just hit the right target. And don't get me wrong, I have ways of bringing back Borderland from the graveyard, but it's still Not a good play here. So we're gonna activate Chaos Ruler. We already hit with the Effect Veiler. Oh, we are gonna over that. We get our trap. And the reason why I said, like, he was screwed, I mean, he was screwed regardless. But the way I want to point it out, like, so he's playing this water deck. If he actually had, I guess I could just let it play. If he actually had, like, a back row, like Sea Stealth Attack and all the other stuff, my Boral Savage Dragon would still have a hard time against that. But Boral End Dragon has no problem against that. I would be able to just destroy everything he has, no, like, easy mode. You know what I mean? So I think that is definitely the wrong sacrifice choice there. Hello everyone, we're here for game number 4, and this is where I'm talking about the beginning becomes the end. Our hand is 3 Rocket Tracers, a Gamma. Our hand is absolutely dog shit. We grab the trap. We go into Striker Dragon. I mean, it's not, like, the worst because we at least have, like, the White Dragon and we do have Rocket Tracer. So we kind of had, like, halfway there almost. But we did not need 3 Rocket Tracers. It's very unneeded. Our opponent put us underneath Maxi. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play through Maxi and just kill him. That's what I'm doing. I'm a Chad. Oh, there goes my Ravine. But I guess I don't really need a Ravine anymore. We go to dark. Man, that was a long night. And then we get super polyed. Pretty cool. He discards snow. Definitely doesn't make me want to punch myself in the mouth. But we're gonna persist, boy. We ain't stopping. We ain't stopping until we in the grave. I guess we're stopping. So the reason why the reason why I played out this is because I still have this prologue, and if he doesn't have an out to it for some reason, we kind of just win the game. And our opponent's playing Despia, so I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see if he has an out to this. He plays Brain Infusion, I play prologue. And then I activate this, because you chain it, that's how you do it. So we have Buster Blader, and we have this. He goes into Lebellion. Lebellion's effect doesn't activate. He's like, oh, why didn't this activate? I wonder why. Let me summon Alibur. Alibur doesn't activate. He activates... he just keeps activating abilities. And so this is actually really fucking annoying. So our opponent actually has... This is what I was saying, dude. Like, our opponent actually has the out. So I know he drew like 1,000,000 cards, but like, he only has 1 snow in the deck. And he snowed his whole field away so he could imperm the Buster Blade. Which is actually a pretty good. The thing I'm going to point out, this match took forever. And he took fucking 10 years to figure this out. It took him, like, this wasn't like a quick process. And I'm going to show you the problem with it. This dude took his time figuring all this out. He goes into Guardian Chimera. Right? So I should lose this game, right? Like, this is an automatic loss. No way I fucking come back from this. I activate the Prologue of Destruction Swordsman. So this is actually kind of hilarious. So the reason I activate it is because if you read the card, right? Destruction Sword cards you can control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. This card's not a Destruction Swordsman. This card doesn't fit the I'm pretty positive that this card, if he wanted to, would die. But he didn't attack it. He didn't attack it. Oh, this is really annoying. I activate Fairy Snow, and then he called by the Graves by Fairy Snow. But he didn't attack it because he thought it would be protected. Which is fucking hilarious. So now my card's jacked up out of his mind. You get max seed again, but I'm used to max seed at this point. I never have an answer for it, but my opponents do. And then he ashes, obviously, my one card I have. Probably just top deck that off of the fucking max seed. Oh, man. Going to Romulus, you know. And our opponent concedes. He actually does not concede. I should have lost this game, but he took so fucking long. We won due to time limit. So we were unlucky, and our opponent, honestly, he did do a pretty decent job finding that, but he took so fucking long doing it, we just won due to time, which I thought was hilarious. All right, we're here for game number 5, and we're going down the path of unluckiness right now. So we're going to use Chaos Space. You might be saying, hey, Fatso, you seem pretty lucky. First of all, these are both like semi-bricks. I can't discard both of them. I don't have effects to do that. We go into Striker Dragon. So far, so good, right? We're gonna speed this up because it's all basic shit. We go into Romulus. You know what Romulus does? Gets our field spell. Chaos Space, gonna drag. So far, everything's looking pretty good. First thing, first roadblock, Ghost Ogre, pops a Ravine. But we are actually not too unlucky because we were able to at least do all of this, right? So not the end of the world, right? So that we go into Chaos Ruler because we can. Chaos Ruler effect activates. Herald of the Orange Light. So I guess Chaos Ruler is not working. So that's neat. Gonna have to activate Chaos Ruler's effect again. To special summon it, just so we can go into Borderland Dragon. So in my mind, I'm like, well, our opponent has 2 cards left. 3 cards now, right? There's no fucking way we lose. He sets a card's pass. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, let's just not top deck ass. Never mind. Play Maxi. Borderland brings back Tracer. Tracer's gonna activate its effect. Pop goes a Weasel. And boom, we go into Borderland Savage. Now, I feel like this is the end. Our opponent has Medolce Pomade, so nope, it's not the end. He's just going to negate my Savage Dragon. My Savage Dragon gets nothing happens. He gets to grab his Pudding Cess. Yeah, and I attack him for almost 6,500. So I'm like, okay. So in my head, I'm like, okay, well, he has 2 blanks. He has Pudding Cess, which is kind of a brick, right? Pudding Cess doesn't really do anything. It just could be discard fodder. My opponent top decks Small World. He sends Angeli to the graveyard. He gets Angeli. He has Droplet, sends Pudding Cess, and then plays Angeli. We lose the game. Tell me how fucking lucky it is for someone who didn't play any drawing cards to draw a fucking one of in his deck. Tell me how lucky that is. The one card that outs Borderlord and Dragon in his deck. The one card that outs it, he draws it. Alright, why not? Now we lose. Yep, pretty cool. And what do I draw for my turn? It's probably something real sick and good, right? Oh, nope, it's Effect Veiler. And it gets pomaded. We already knew he had pomade. I was just hoping off of this Chaos space, I would actually draw, like, something nasty, you know? I was hoping I'd draw something sick. Nope. It's garbage. Well, thank you. Hello, we're here for the final match, and it is time for the other unlucky match. Alright, so our opponent's playing Sky Striker, already cringe. Our hand is not really that great against Sky Striker, because the Sky Striker has a lot of spells. Gamma works on monster effects, and so does Talent. So we just negate Shizuku, because we don't want him drawing anything. I play Call by the Grave. I'm trying to bait something out for Triple Tactics or for Gamma. But no dice, so we just go into Striker Dragon. Which is going to grab our boot sector. Honestly, I was surprised he let boot sector lunch go through. But now I'm not so surprised because he had Droll and Lockbird. And unfortunately with Droll and Lockbird, I actually have to use it to steal his card. Right? We attack for 4 hundo, and we send the card to the graveyard, but we have nothing else to really follow up on it. So it's pretty unlucky. He top decks a second Ray, obviously. Why wouldn't you top deck the second Ray? This is what you say. Fatsoid, why don't you just top deck the answer? Are you fucking stupid? Are you stupid? I'm like, I guess I am. I guess I am stupid. I don't top deck the Ray after I just dealt with first Ray. Yeah, I just top deck it. I didn't use Gamma there, and it might have been a bit greedy. I feel like I should have just used it here. But at the same time, he still would have, like, Ray's effect. It's not like I would have dealt with this. Ray would have just came back, and then he would have been able to Shizuku me on my turn. But maybe to grind him out of resources, but I don't know. Oh, we go into Striker Dragon. And then we're going to grab our White Dragon, summon White Dragon. Into Romulus. Maybe we get Dragon Ravine. Possibility of that happening? 0. Here's the Widow Anchor. We knew about Widow Anchor already, at least. Right? I think Widow Anchor got buffed, so you can run 3 of them now, so... Yeah, we already knew about this card. It is a completely fucking tilting card to play against, but it is what it is. So, he activates that. It's going to pop both cards. Pretty cool. And then he goes into Gagori. So the Gamma is actually going to come into really good play here, so we can stop this Gagori. Never mind. We get ashed. Never mind, I say. We get ashed. I mean, the good thing is now our opponent knows we have a Gamma, so it's actually not a good thing. He can play around the Gamma now. Like, he knows we have a Gamma. He can just not do stuff. And it's actually kind of funny because now he actually doesn't even bother going to Shizuku or anything. Because he's like, oh, he has Gamma. He's going to Gamma me. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get Widow Anchored again. There goes my turn. My turn's over. Isn't that fun? Summon Raz. This is actually a big misplay on his part. I don't know why he does this. He actually just does less damage overall here. And he sends Module to Graveyard. He has no way of grabbing that because he doesn't have Shizuku. I mean, he doesn't have Kagori. Zeke is going to temporarily remove my card. I actually get the Chaos Creator. Finally a good draw after drawing complete ass for fucking 10 turns. And then I get Impermed. Well, it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world because I could summon this and then go into Dark Gloomy. I can take his single Ray left, attack, kill Zeke, and then I can link away the Ray. Or I can just keep Ray so he can't go into anything. Never mind, it's impermed. Why would I even think I could do anything in this game? Right? So here I could have attacked Zeke. So if I attacked Zeke here, right? I could have killed the Zeke. Obviously, his Ray would have came back, and then Ray would have went to Shizuku, and he would have been able to get a free search. Right? Was that the play? Let's see. He can't search for Widow Anchor. He can't search for Module. Can't surface that. So I actually think that was the right play. I kill this. He goes into that, and he gets Shizuku or some shit, right? I actually think that was the right play. So that is a minor misplay on my part because it's kind of hard to tell, to be completely honest. I don't know what other Sky Striker cards he has in the deck, but that's usually most of it. He could have had Hercules. If he had Hercules in the deck, that card could actually recycle cards for him. So that is another thing to think about, right? So he could have searched for Hercules, the equip spell. So my opponent top decks the one Effect Veiler. Top decks Effect Veiler. He has 25 cards left, so 1 out of 26. And now, obviously, he's able to go into Selene. And now I lose the game. And I'm not even kidding this shit happened to me like all night. All night shit like that happened to me. It's so crazy. But who knows? Probably my fault. I should have just attacked him. Maybe that would have been the difference. But we'll find out. Let's go to the recap and we'll see how everything went. Hello everybody, welcome to the recap. And I'm just going to say that last game wouldn't have mattered. It literally would not have mattered if I killed it or not, because he had Hornet Drone. So he could have just searched Hornet Drone, added the Hornet Drone to his hand, and then he would have had the same outcome of going into Celine, top decking the Effect Veiler. You could argue maybe he wouldn't have top decked Effect Veiler, but I don't know. Seems like it would happen to me. Let's talk about the deck. Is it good? It's definitely like a worse version of Dragon Link. Like, I just feel like the Buster engine, no matter what deck you put it in, it's just a worse version of Dragon Link. I will say this version of it feels better than the Despia version of it, because it's actually super, super helpful being able to actually just go into Buster Dragon by Synchro Summoning. Because the Buster Dragon has a really powerful effect that actually just completely burns one deck out of the format, and that deck's Flow. Because like I said, they have to have the perfect, like, Rabina into Eaglin to actually do anything to Buster Dragon. If they're trying to do some fancy play, which they're trying to like link block or something like that, guess what? It's not going to happen. So that's definitely really helpful. How did the deck perform? We started off plat 5. We climbed to plat 4, dropped down to plat 5 again, climbed to plat 4, and then dropped down to plat 5. Then we finally climbed back to plat 4, and I'm almost at plat 3 with the deck. So the deck was pretty much like a 50-50 wash. But like I said, the entire night, you guys can watch the stream. The stream VODs are always up on my Twitch. It's down in the description. And dude, the entire night, I was just getting super, super, super unlucky. Like, I know I normally go unlucky in these matches, but it was like absurd unluckiness. Like my opponent having the answer for absolutely everything, playing around to absolutely everything. It's kind of, by the end of the night, I just did not even want to play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Like, I just wanted to quit playing the game and just take a week break or something like that. And honestly, because I had to play games afterwards too, I kind of wanted to do that too. I was like, oh, dude, why am I even doing this? I just want to go to bed. Which, honestly, when I'm tired too, obviously making a little bit more misplays. But I really don't think I made too many misplays at the end of the night either. It was just, dude, it was so crazy. I've never been this unlucky before. This is like the first game where I'm like this filthy unlucky. Because normally I'm like average, you know what I mean? Like average luckiness. But this was like crazy. And I really have to think all my luckness, all the luck I had in me disappeared when I was a younger kid, right? When I was like 17 or 16 or something like that. There was this set that came out for Magic the Gathering called Avacyn Restored. And out of 6 packs, I pulled 2 mythic, like Bonfire of the Dams. And at the time, they were going for like $100 plus a piece. And one of them was foil. And they pulled Tamiao. I pulled like $200, almost $300 worth of cards in 6 packs. And I have a feeling ever since that happened, I've never been lucky at anything ever again. And oh man, it was definitely not worth it. Because I did trade those cards for really good value, but I think afterwards, like I think nowadays, I think Bonfire Dam probably goes for like $1 or some shit. It's not a very good card anymore. But yeah, I just wanted to say on a power level scaling, I think Dragon Link is probably like 8.5, like 8.5. It's pretty good, very consistent. It's definitely one of the top tier decks. But this deck would probably be like a notch below that. So like 7.5, maybe 8. So if this was like an 8.59, if it was pure Dragon Link, it'd probably be like an 8. I'd probably say it's an 8 or like a 7.5. Maybe like an 8. I think 8's fine. I think if you're playing in gold and stuff, you're going to absolutely pub stomp people with this shit. Now, on a tier list, I'm gonna say this is probably like a tier 3 deck. Like if Dragon Link is a tier 2, possibly like closing in on tier 1, this is definitely a completely tier off of that. It's gonna be like a tier 3. Because like I said, you're just making the deck more bricky by adding in a lot of these garnets. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have a lot of videos planned coming up. Let me know how you guys enjoy the replay videos I've been posting. They're a little shorter content. It helps when I get feedback from you guys. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And goodbye.